Thank you everyone for joining today. My name's Sammy Charlie. I'm a marketing executive here at Kaplan Open Learning, and I'll be hosting today's session. I'm just here to give a brief overview before I pass on to our speakers. Just to note, if you have any questions throughout this webinar, then please write them in the Q&A section, which you'll be able to find at the bottom of your screen. So let's get started then. So our speakers today, our main panelists, are David Dixon, who is our academic director, and also Katie Flanagan, who is head of admissions. We'll also be joined by Luke Johnson, the program coordinator for business, Dr. Sharon Sibanda, head of computing, Dr. Christina Vadanyan, head of education, Dr. Andrea Barrett, head of health, Dr. Jenny Apoyan-William, head of law and criminology, and then finally, Dr. Lisa Pepper will be joining us, who's from head of psychology as well. So just for the agenda for today, during this webinar, we'll provide an introduction into the University of Essex, the programs the university delivers, and then we'll move on to the admissions and enrollment process before we conclude with a live Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So I'll now hand over to David and we'll go from there.
Thank you for that and welcome everybody. What a pleasure it is to speak to everyone. First thing I think I should say is that looking at the thumbnail picture of me earlier on, just to reassure people, I don't always wear a bow tie and drink champagne. That was at an awards evening that we attended a couple of years back where we won an award. I think Peter mentioned it earlier on. So I was dressing up specially for the occasion. I'm in much more sort of regular clothing today. So, okay, so this is the University of Essex Online. For colleagues who don't know, the University of Essex is a well-respected university. It scores well on most published rankings, has particular strengths in social sciences, business, computing and law. It's based in Colchester, which is a very attractive out-of-town campus on what was a stately home, Wivenhoe House. In fact, I remember visiting it. I'm going to show my age here. When I was choosing my universities when I was still at school back in 1975, and it was a bit of a building site then, but now it's a really beautiful campus. Colchester, sadly, unlike some other well-known universities, doesn't have a particularly well-known football team. Colchester Town, I think, is in the second division over here. But it does have a first-class county cricket team. So that may be of interest to people around the world. Both the university and KOL are silver rated on the Teaching Excellence Framework, which is a government assessment of the quality of undergraduate teaching in universities and other higher education providers in the UK. And what silver means is that this is provision of high quality and significantly and consistently exceeding the baseline quality thresholds expected of UK higher education. So obviously we're very proud to be a silver rated university. It puts us up there with the best. Colleagues will have seen the demo earlier. I popped in to watch some of it as well with Stephen. It's a really impressive learning platform. From an academic perspective, it's designed to cater for the requirements of our typical student demographic, who are usually mature students returning to learn, studying part-time with work, life and family commitments. The study is entirely online, and you obtain an internationally recognised UK higher education qualification with significant cost savings, mainly associated with not having to relocate to the UK to study and also take significant periods of time out of work. So our approach to learning, teaching and assessment recognises those challenges, and we aim to support learners throughout their studies. Now, Stephen demonstrated the platform, and it was mentioned in the discussion afterwards that there is a lot behind the learning platform that you don't see. And in some respects, that's even more impressive than the platform that you see. And the use of learner analytics to inform the student support is one of the key ingredients of our success as an organisation. And hopefully you might hear a little bit more of that later in the session that follows later today. But the content that we put on the learning platform and the way that it's assessed is both academically rigorous, but also vocationally relevant. And that aligns with our mission around vocational higher education. And as is mentioned on the slide there, although the study is entirely online, the face-to-face graduation event takes place on campus at the university in Colchester, and it's always a sunny day there. Certainly I've attended all bar one of the graduations since 2009, and it's always been a lovely sunny day. Okay, now I think Peter rather unkindly mentioned that I've been around since the very beginning, but so I can speak quite authoritatively about the partnership. Kaplan Open Learning operate as a college of the university, essentially we're the kind of online department for the university. Kaplan Open Learning design and deliver the programs, but they're validated and quality assured by the university. So we know that the standard of education delivered is the same or equivalent of that students receive on campus. And importantly, students receive a degree certificate from the university, which is indistinguishable from those awarded to on-campus students. Our first students started study in September 2007. In fact, I delivered the first class, and I was using a similar piece of software to this, but a slightly clunkier version, to deliver my first online lessons. Our first graduates appeared in 2009. And now we've reached the stage where we've got approaching 7,000 graduates in total. And typically we're graduating over 1,000 students a year. We're so big now that we have 2 ceremonies dedicated entirely to online students each year, one in the summer and one in the spring. And over the last 17 years, we've been really proud of our student achievement and satisfaction scores, which are sector leading, in fact. So our 12-month retention on postgraduate programs is in excess of 85%. Undergraduate, it's in excess of 80%. And as I say, these are sector leading scores. Our student satisfaction rates, either measured by our own internal end of module surveys or using the government run national student survey, typically are in excess of 90%. So we're really proud of those outcomes. You'll have seen earlier with the list of academic participants in the panel, we cover a broad range of subjects. And I think with the exception of education, we offer programs at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels. And we've been running these programs. We've got a good track record of running these programs online, as I say, over a 17-year period. And there'll be the opportunity for each of my colleagues to explain their programs in their area a little later on. Right, okay, for the purposes of this presentation, our programs are broken into 3 areas: undergraduate, postgraduate, and professional courses. Our first programs were undergraduate programs, leading to bachelor's degrees. And then we progressed to offering postgraduate degrees, master's awards, and such like. I think it would be fair to say that most of the online programs offered by UK universities tend to be postgraduate online. But the undergraduate programs are trickier to deliver. They tend to be longer, and the support needs of the students studying tend to be more complex. And I think that's one thing in our favour, is that we are sector leading when it comes to our undergraduate provision. Our outcomes, as I say, stand with the best of the best, really. A recent innovation in the programs that we offer are professional courses. Now, typically these are short courses, so running 6 to 10 weeks in length. They're based on the modules that are taught on our undergraduate, postgraduate programs, but they're offered to a kind of a general population to study one module at a time. And these are proving to be popular as they provide people with an opportunity to undertake continuing professional development, studying subjects that they might have an interest in. And it also gives them an opportunity to try out online education in smaller chunks rather than enrolling on a 2 or a 4-year program. You can do this over a couple of months. And in that way, you can accumulate some higher education credit. And if you want to later on, you can then trade it in for a full undergraduate or postgraduate award. So it's a really useful way of students dipping their toe in, finding out that they like it, accumulating credit, and going on to study for a full award of some sort. Okay, so I'm pleased to be able to introduce my colleagues. I think that slide is out of date because I don't think Steve Wilkes is here. I think Luke is covering for business. So I'm really pleased they're able to come along and perhaps explain some of the intricacies of their own subject areas, the way that we do things, but also answer any questions that people might have. The team are well qualified and experienced in UK higher education, and they're supported by a team of programme managers and coordinators and over 200 associate tutors who teach on our programmes across the board. And these people are typically based around the world, but also they have a wealth of academic and industrial experience. So the things that they bring to the program add a great deal of depth to the things that students will be studying. I'll just say a couple of words about program accreditation because I know that some of my colleagues will say a little bit more detail here. But as you would expect, the programs which are intended to improve people's careers, where possible, we align them with the statutory, professional, and regulatory bodies. So a number of our programs have got awards with external bodies. I imagine colleagues will mention that. But again, it's an important measure of the vocational appropriateness of what is being studied. So these programs are recognised by professional bodies, and that is another indicator of the quality of the programs that we deliver. Now, hopefully I haven't spoken for too long there, Sammy. So I think I'm going to hand over now to Luke. I think Luke's saying a few words about the business programs. Is that right?
Yeah, thanks, David. Thanks for that. So within the business department, we offer a diverse range of undergraduate and postgraduate business programs. Our undergraduate programs include two pathways. We have the management and the marketing pathway. In the management pathway, our students explore critical questions like how does management impact the way business operates? How do management theories apply in practice? And in the marketing pathway, we address topics such as how can marketers leverage new consumer trends and how can business leaders optimize resources for success. Additionally to this, we do offer a top-up program for students with a higher national diploma or equivalent credits, allowing them to attain the full bachelor's with honours degree. At postgraduate level, we offer more specialised pathways in management, in finance, international human resource management. We've got business analytics and global digital marketing. Our supply chain management and global logistics program covers everything from procuring the raw materials to the final consumer delivery. We also have a project management program that enhances communication, leadership, time management skills, while also offering practical techniques for managing projects of any size. For those kind of seeking to advance their careers quickly, we do offer shorter online professional courses, like David said, and these are designed to equip individuals with new skills. So our short courses are designed for professionals who are interested in mastering logistics and transport management, or data management. We've got leadership and finance. I think we've currently got 18 short professional programs on the business portfolio at the moment. Now, all of our programs that I've just mentioned there and courses really do focus on core topics and contemporary issues in the corporate world, from the need to be flexible and dynamic and focused as managers in today's business environment, to the challenges that sustainability and the impact that globalization has. All of our business programs and students really will have innovative mindsets instilled in them. But how can we show that as an organization, and how can we show that to potential students? And that's through AACSB accreditation, which is considered a benchmark for quality business education worldwide. It's important for our programs to have this for a number of reasons: for its reputation, for its competitive edge, for us and the students, for its rigorous processes, its relevancy, and its quality. Yeah. Finally, AACSB is important for our business programs as it highlights the positive societal impact that our graduates will have and confirms that we are doing that and creating impactful leaders. Of course, none of this could be done without our incredible tutor cohort, many of which hold PhDs and are academic leaders in areas such as AI, consumer behavior, supply chain management. Also, many of our tutors are current industry professionals, such as senior private bankers. We have anti-corruption experts, project managers, learning and development managers, from everything in hospitality all the way through to manufacturing. This really does help bring the real world perspective into the classroom. That real world perspective is critical to the business programs, as it helps our students gain a clear sense of how to apply the knowledge. I know I've already touched upon it, but the application of knowledge is something that the whole online institute is extremely passionate about. So you'll probably hear myself and my colleagues speaking about it throughout this presentation a lot more. To help further with this, with applying the knowledge and bringing in real world examples into the online classroom, we regularly have guest lecturers that are professionals across a range of industries, covering areas such as sustainability, innovation, entrepreneurship, cloud computing and branding. That's just to name a few. And finally, kind of incorporating a diverse range of assessment methods enhances our students' learning experience and prepares them for the realities of the professional world. So we have discussion forums, which encourage active participation and critical thinking, allowing our students to engage with different perspectives. We have reflective journals, which promote self-awareness and continuous improvement by enabling students to track their professional, personal, and academic growth. We have group presentations and poster presentations, which help develop teamwork and communication skills that are, of course, crucial in the business environment. We have peer reviews that allow students to feedback to each other and collaborate, which mirrors the real-world processes where continuous improvement is essential. We also have case study analysis, which helps bring that critical thinking and real-world problem solving and practical application of the theoretical concepts, which is really important. By using a varied assessment methods throughout our programs, students not only deepen their understanding of the subject matter, but also develop essential skills that will be invaluable for their future careers. Now, just before I pass you over to the head of computing, I think it is next, Sharon, I just wanted to briefly mention that the type of students we're looking for, I mean, our cohort on the business side of things is almost split 50-50 with UK students and international students. And as long as we have individuals who have the drive to study online and further their career in the business world and meet the entry requirements, I'm sure we do have a program that will suit their needs. Thank you. I'll pass you over to Sharon now.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and really pleased to discuss computing today. Starting off with our undergraduate program, really excited to discuss the fact that with an undergraduate computer science program, you can have more intensive tutor support and help with those fundamental concepts. Perhaps you're coming in from a different field, be rest assured that we'll be using strategies like the Computing Hub to help you get up to speed with the various concepts that you need to be aware of. What's really great about our professional courses is that they really allow you to dip your toe in, as it were, into some of the computing modules that you might be most interested in. They might be quite critical for your organization or for your small business, and they'll really help you to get ahead. So, for example, with machine learning, that can be a module that, as a professional course, it can help you to sort of get to grips with the different kinds of ways you can use machine learning. And perhaps your problem is trying to classify certain information so that you can actually, improve your business, improve the value that you provide to customers. And so that might be a module that you might be interested in. Similarly, for understanding artificial intelligence, you might be thinking about perhaps looking at how those technologies might be of use in your organization and just getting to understand the basics behind the recent technologies which are spoken about so much. We also have postgraduate courses in computer science. We have 5, and they are accredited by the British Computing Society. What that means is that we have a high standard of modules and programs, and the practical content is 50%. And that means that there's a really sort of high level of practical work that you'll need to do to achieve one of these programs. And what's really interesting about the the master's programs is, as you can see, you can actually choose the particular area that you're most interested in. And so if your area of interest is cybersecurity and you're looking to understand better or more about, recent concepts like the concept of guarded trust, then you might be someone who would be interested in applying for that particular master's. In terms of discussing why you should choose the computing courses, if we move on to the next slide, what's common between all of these programs and professional courses is that all of our modules are based on the real world. And because of that, we know that they'll be quite useful and they'll be relevant to the current scenarios that you might face in the organization, in your organization, or in your business, if you're someone who's interested in developing a business. The other thing is that when you think about technologies such as Copilot, we are planning to use those, or we do use some of those already, to actually help you to get involved in the kind of best practice of what you should be doing. So if you are someone who is doing a lot of coding or is expected to have an appreciation of some of these technologies, then the use of these technologies within a safe environment, like a learning environment with us, will be a very useful time to sort of, use this as an opportunity to play around with the software, see what it can do, research more about how it works to actually help you to use it in the real world. We have industry experts who are tutors in our programs, and they are all active in their research areas, which is fantastic. We also have guest lecturers, and so what happens there is that you will have examples from the public sector, which is like governments, from the private sector, and also from the third sector. And so you'll be able to use or apply these concepts to those various industries. And the third sector is not spoken much about, but in these times of sustainability and widening participation and just having that more global outlook, you can see how our modules and our programs are really meant to be inclusive rather than only focusing on one part of the world. In terms of developing your knowledge, there are global opportunities now, and this idea of sustainability is something which is really important that we actually focus on for all of our modules to make sure that there is an understanding of how that can actually be achieved. With entrepreneurship, what's important is actually being familiar with the kind of cutting edge technologies. And so if you think about things like being early to a market, which is where we see people profiting the most, then entrepreneurship is quite important. And by understanding cutting edge technologies, such as the ones that are used for some of the technologies that we see in place these days, then these kinds of modules that we provide and the programs we provide would be very useful for you to actually achieve that. As I've said earlier, we are accredited by the BCS, so there is a very high level of professionalism from our staff. You have a lot of help if you need it, and you get a lot of additional or supplementary information for concepts perhaps that are not as familiar, and tutors and lecturers are available to you to help with getting you through the program. So we look forward to welcoming students from across the world, and with your help, we look forward to working with you to achieve that. Thank you very much. So I'm going to pass over to the next subject, which is education. Christina, over to you.
Thank you, Sharon, and hello, everyone. I'm very pleased to introduce the Education Department, and thank you for the opportunity. So the Education Department comprises of 2 postgraduate programs. First one is Master of Education program, which offers flexible, in-depth education focused on contemporary theories and practices in education. So it helps our students to develop advanced skills in curriculum design, as well as assessment and assessment design, which is ideal for those aiming for various positions, including leadership positions within the field of education. The program features tailored learning with diverse modules, as you can see on your screen, including interactive lectures, discussion forums, and live sessions, and all are delivered, as you may already know, through our virtual learning environment. We also have a range of assessments where students reflect through reflective journals, presentations, written assessments. We're also quite proud of our timely feedback, which is an important, particularly in the education department. So we're trying to be an example for future educators as well. We also have a Master of Science digital education program, offers students the opportunity to gain advanced skills and knowledge in digital teaching methods, as well as inclusive practice and the role of AI in education. This program covers areas like digital production, research methods, and the impact of technology on education. So this is designed to prepare students for various roles within education, including leadership roles, focusing on innovation, most importantly, and the effective use of digital tools. Students learn through a flexible online environment with varied assessments and opportunities for tailored research projects. Our Master of Science digital education gained expertise in the latest digital teaching methods and technologies, particularly AI and multimodal pedagogy. So this program is ideal for professionals in the field of education, aiming to enhance their digital literacy skills, lead educational innovation, or advance into various leadership roles as well. Particularly important, I think, with the rise of or use of AI, widespread use of AI within the field of education, what we can see nowadays. We offer flexible learning, allowing students to balance studies with their professional commitments while gaining skills with us. In all our programs, in both of them, we aim to ensure that students recognize and understand the relationship between their module content, assessments, skills and knowledge needed in roles both inside and outside of their subject area, and how it links to employability skills and furthering their careers. So we pay particular attention to that as well. And of course, this wouldn't be possible without our team of associate tutors who are experienced in the field of education, highly skilled professionals, a range of teaching, applied and research expertise. So most work as academics, hold PhDs, MAs, and MScs in the field of education.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, good to be part of this session. So at University of Essex Online, we have a range of programs, law and criminology. So I'll start off with the law program because our department is known as the Law and Criminology Department. So we have a range of undergraduate programs, postgraduate programs, and we also have professional courses as well. So we have the LLB Honors degree, and we also have joint programs, which are law with business, law with criminology, and law with psychology. So that gives students the opportunity to have and build expertise and knowledge in other areas. So if, for example, they do the LLB Honors Law with Business, they are able to learn about human resources and some other specific business modules. And if they do the LLB Honors Law with Criminology, they also get to know about a lot of the criminology theories, so they can also become specialists as well. And then for psychology as well, they also get to do some of the psychology modules as well. So just giving them an edge over other students who might just have the single LLB honors degree. And we also have Set HE law, Set HE law with business, Set HE law with criminology, Set HE law with psychology. And so if you have students, for example, because all our programs are done online, and it makes us flexible and helps students to fit our programs, the learning around existing commitments. So a student, for example, might just decide to just do level 4, and they get the Set HE, so that would give them the opportunity to maybe get on with life and other things they do, and then come back and complete the remainder of the degree. So we also have the postgraduate as well, which is the LLM International Business Law, postgraduate International Business Law, and the PG set as well. So just allowing students to at least exist with an award, some form of award, so that they can at least have something to show for all of their hard work at a particular stage. And then we have the professional courses. So we have students, for example, who might not be too sure if they want to do the full postgraduate degree. So through the professional courses, they get kind of like a taste and they get some form of experience about what the program is about. And then from the professional course, they can then move on to the postgraduate courses as well. So why study law with University of Essex Online? So the beauty about LLB Honors degree is that it makes students eligible to write the England and Wales solicitors qualifying exam. So that simply is when students graduate and complete our LLB Honors degree, whether it's the LLB Honors degree or either of the joint programs. It could be the one with business or the one with criminology or psychology. They are eligible once they complete and they graduate to do the SQE exams, which makes them to once they pass that exam, they can then become qualified solicitors in England and Wales. And also our LLB Honors degree and also the joint programs as well. That's, like I said earlier, the one with business, criminology and psychology. It also makes them eligible to write the bar practice course. The bar practice course is the students moving from after completing the law degree to the vocational element, which is the bar practice course. So once they do the bar practice course, they have to do like a pupillage for a period of time, and then they would then be able to become barristers in England and Wales. So students are able to study online, and unlike other jurisdictions where students might have to do face-to-face, do their degrees face-to-face to qualify as solicitor or barrister, our students don't have that restriction here. So you can be in any part of the world, do our LLB, and you can do the SQ. And the SQ exams are even done now online, and that's one of the things that's happened from the pandemic period. So the exam is done online. So our students even have an edge, because you still have some students who are doing the degrees in traditional universities. When they're doing the SQ exam, sometimes they struggle because they have never been used to learning in an online environment. But our students don't have that restriction, because as part of our LLB Honors degree and the joint programs, we also have embedded formative. So formative assessment means that the assignment is not final. We have like taster sessions of what the SQ is all about. So the SQ exams, the first part of the SQ exams are objective exams, and our students have that as part of the practice as well. So our tutors are subject matter experts. We have not just tutors, the tutors have PhDs, master's degrees, and our tutors are also, currently active in the industry. So we have some of them as solicitors, barristers, and we even have an emeritus professor as part of our associate tutors as well. And all our tutors are actively researching, either researching in academia or doing research within the industry. And one of the beauty of our LLB Honors degree and also the criminology, as I'll get onto that very soon, is that we have we collaborated all the teams. So we have the student support team, study skills and welfare teams, and they are a dedicated team. They're ready to support students throughout their study. And a key thing that within our LLB Honors degree is the fact that our students develop legal skills and competencies. So our assignments are not just academic. Yes, they're academic because students have to pass them, but they follow more of an applied format. So we have students who, being exposed to mooting, writing reflexive reports. So a student students who could have a scenario whereby they have to, present a case either for the prosecution or for the defense, and then they have to get involved in what we call client interviews, whereby there's a question for them and they have to, advise the client live. So in such a case, the tutor will be acting as the client, requesting advice from the student. So our students have that opportunity as well. Even though our degrees are online, we still have, provide our students with the best legal education they can get anywhere in the world. And most importantly, our students can move into various career paths. So they could move in, become a solicitor in their home jurisdiction. So degrees, we have LLB Honors degree. We do have all the foundation law modules that is required for all of the jurisdictions within the Commonwealth and civil law jurisdictions. So for example, the law of contract, criminal law, and all of those foundation modules are part of our LLB Honors degree. So those are the nitty-gritty of what every law student in any part of the world is supposed to understand and pass those exams. We have that as part of our LLB Honors degree. So students can become barristers, in-house counsel, government legal advisors, government policy advisors. They can move into legal research roles. They can become company secretaries. Most of the company secretaries these days eventually move on to become chartered members of the Institute of Company Secretaries, of which I'm a member of that institute. We have many lawyers who are part of it. So they, from their law degree, can even get associate company secretary roles in different parts of the world, not just within the England and Wales and the UK, even within the Commonwealth. Company secretaries are well known and well sought after. Many of them have have law degrees and backgrounds, and also corporate governance professional. And most importantly, they can also move into roles within the United Nations. So we have students, for example, that our students are exposed to research, final research projects. They can also do that in their master's dissertation and specialize in a particular area, especially if a student is looking to work with the World Trade Organization. As one of our modules is the intellectual property law as well. Students get to know about the World Intellectual Property Organization. There are quite a lot of internships there that our students are qualified to apply for, and also work experience as well. So for criminology as well, we have the postgraduate, and we also have online professional courses. So we have the MSc Criminology and Criminal Psychology. We also have it at lower postgraduate levels, PG Div and PG Set. So our students, again, can get an exit award from at a particular stage. So at least if they have to maybe focus on something at work or in something in their life, they can have something to show for all of their hard work. And we also have professional courses as well. So students have the opportunity to start with this professional course, get a feel of it, get a taster, and then now move into the postgraduate degree. So why study criminology with the University of Essex Online? So I've already talked about the fact that our degree, and I'm sure my colleagues have mentioned that as well, is 100% online. We have the state-of-the-art VLE, that's the virtual learning environment. And for criminology, our students learn so much. They learn about criminal investigations. We have people we've worked with and collaborated with within the probation service, within the policing system, within the criminal justice system as well. And the students build up on the understanding of criminology theories, practices, and perspectives. One very key thing that students, are very proud of. The last graduation we had, I had the opportunity of riding the train with one of the graduates who was so excited. She's finished her MSc in criminology, and she's moving to a role in policing. And she was so happy about one of the pieces of research that she conducted. So our students have the opportunity of producing a research topic in criminology and criminal psychology, and that can form part of their portfolio. So it's really an advanced piece of research. And from some of the master's theses that I've read, many of them, and especially looking at the feedback from external examiners, have said that they are actually an original contribution to knowledge. So some students might even publish or turn their MSc thesis into a monograph or even into a journal article and publish it in one of the top journals. So our tutors, again, like I said, for law, our subject matters, they're working in the industry. Many of them are currently research active, and most importantly, we have the expertise of student support as well. We have the expertise, obviously, of disability services. So if in the process of any of our students, does say that they have a disability, we have an effective support system able to provide all the support that they need. For students, for example, who English is not their first language or who have been away from education, most of our students that we have. We've been away from education for so many years. We have study skills that can provide our extra support when it comes to, the basic best practices in academic writing, referencing, and all of that. So we have the full package at University of Essex Online, and I am looking forward to welcoming new students and looking forward to collaborating with many of the agents who I believe are on this call. Thank you very much, and I'll hand over to Dr. Andrea for health.
Thank you, Jenny, and hello there, everyone. I'm going to speak for a few minutes about the health professional courses we offer here at Essex Online. So in terms of the programmes that we offer one undergraduate programme, which is our BSc Healthcare Management, and this very much mirrors a similar programme that you would find in a face-to-face university, the 3-year BSc Healthcare Management programme. Because of our flexibility, being 100% online, it gives students the opportunity to study more quickly to get their degree or more slowly, depending upon what their needs are. That's really positive for students, particularly in our cohort of students who have family responsibilities, work responsibilities, etc. The BSc programme is particularly interesting as it covers a whole range of modules to equip students to take up a role, a management or leadership role within a healthcare environment, not just in the UK, but also globally. We have a number of students who have completed our programme who have gone on to take on, I say, much more senior roles than they were in. So real opportunities for personal development within that programme. We also offer 5 postgraduate programmes, the MSc Nursing, which gives students the opportunity not only to enhance their subject knowledge within that area, but also the opportunity to enhance their management and leadership skills for potentially taking on roles at a more senior level within their current or different organisations. We also offer the MSc Infection Control programme, which has been particularly popular over the last 3-4 years. As it mentions, it focused specifically with a global lens on some of the theories, practices around infection control. A particular positive for that programme is it's very contemporary. The content is regularly updated by ourselves to really keep up to date with what's going on out there in the world around infection control, key research that's happening, and key professional practices which are happening. We also have our Master of Public Health programme. That is our longest standing health programme. It has been extremely successful throughout certainly the last significant number of years. It covers a whole range of topics for students, both working in an academic environment, working in a public sector, private sector environment. And again, it very much has a global focus. It isn't just focusing on issues here in the UK, but it focuses on much broader issues that are relevant across the globe. Things like health economics, it focuses on epidemiology, it focuses on health promotion, health needs assessment, and there's a whole range of optional modules which students can take, such as social marketing, healthcare leadership, advanced practice. So it gives students a real breadth of opportunity to expand their knowledge within the sphere of public health. Our newest programme is our MSc Global Mental Health and Wellbeing. Again, this focuses specifically on some of the really contemporary challenges around mental health and wellbeing globally. It covers some of the more generic topics around what is mental health, why is it so important in contemporary society. And also it focuses on some really sort of specialist topics, such as mental health over the life course. It focuses on dementia. There's a huge amount of research around dementia at the moment, and obviously prevalence rates going up hugely. So really important area for students wanting to work in that area. Lastly, our MSc International Healthcare Management programme can follow on from the BSc programme if students want to progress from their undergraduate to postgraduate studies. It also is for students entering, and certainly thinking about the student cohort we have on that programme, we have a really diverse range of students, with students completely new to the sphere of healthcare management, Also with students who are very experienced and senior practitioners looking for that academic qualification to further enhance their career. Again, a raft of optional modules for students to cover in that programme, which we're particularly proud of. It doesn't just send students on one particular route into management in healthcare. It can be a huge range from looking at mental health, from looking at management in a clinical environment. So it really does give students a real breadth of knowledge. Similar to colleagues, all of our postgraduate programmes are also offered as PG Cert and PG Dip programmes. So they're shorter parts of the master's programme that give students the opportunity who maybe have work commitments or family commitments that don't complete the full MSc programme, but want to gain credits and a highly regarded qualification within their subject area. We have a huge range of professional courses, and I'm not going to read through them all, which again cover the breadth of our health subject area. These give students the opportunity to, again, as colleagues have mentioned, dip their toe into some of these topic areas, as well as academic study. A lot of our health students have maybe not studied for a number of years, and so coming back straight into a BSc or an MSc can be extremely daunting. And the professional courses give students the opportunity to have a bit of a go, have a try, have a look at some of the topic areas before then going in to study one of our undergraduate or postgraduate programmes. Some of the key features, and this is not an exhaustive list, some of the key features of our programmes are broken into two areas. So firstly is around professional development. As I say, the vast majority of our students in health are joining us for professional development, to expand into a new area, to try something completely new, to want to get promotion at work, or to want to move into a more senior role. Our courses all focus on creating employability skills and knowledge. So not just learning theories around some of the topic areas that we've got, but also helping students to think about how they apply those theories and some of the knowledge we're training into their work environments. So really thinking about some of the core skills that are needed to work in a healthcare environment. There's also a great opportunity on our programmes for students to network and work with others. It's really important to us within the health department that students do have that opportunity. It's not simply a case of tutors lecturing and providing seminars for students, but also an opportunity for students to meet each other, share knowledge and experience. And certainly feedback from our students has been how valued that is, and really developing that sort of learning community, both within their studies and also for them to have beyond that. Similar to colleagues, we have a diverse range of professional tutors, they are clinicians. We have some clinical tutors. We have tutors in academia, current active researchers. We also have a number of professional tutors who hold very senior roles across the public sector, across local government, and across some more specific organisations around public health, infection control, etc. So a huge range of tutors who work with us very closely to support our students. Our programme content, again, is very contemporary, as I've already mentioned. Those people who have some understanding of the health context, the health environment is constantly changing. There's constantly new research, there's constantly new developments, and we do have a robust review cycle for our content. So all of our programmes, particularly around infection control, which is fairly topical over the last few years, and indeed mental health as well. We constantly review our content to make sure it is up to date and it is relevant to students in the current working environment. We're also very proud of our assessment methods and types. Our learning platform is extremely interactive. It's not simply students just constantly reading. There's a whole range, as has been in a previous session, of interactive content, discussions. There's opportunities for students to look at case studies, scenarios, look at video content. We really do try hard to bring it alive as much as we possibly can. Our support colleagues within our study support team are there to provide students with not just academic support but also study skills support, specifically for some of our health programs, and also other areas such as English as a second language and so on and so forth. Last but not least, we work to try and make our assessments as real as possible. We use a range of real world workplace scenarios and examples. So it's not just sort of conceptual. It very much encourages students to think about what's going on in their workplace, applying it to what they're learning, and vice versa. So there's lots of opportunities, particularly around the dissertation and some of the assessments for students to really reflect on and build in some of the things going on in their work environment. I think that kind of sums up health programs. So again, similar to colleagues, thank you for this opportunity, and very much look forward to welcoming students. The next slide, please. I think we're passing on to Lisa.
Hi everyone, I'm really pleased to talk to you today. We have a range of psychology programs to suit students' interests and career choices. So starting with the undergraduate program, our BSc Honours in Psychology is accredited by the British Psychological Society. And students look for this accreditation as it marks a gold standard of programme that both UK and international students look for. It also gives students eligibility to be a graduate member of the BPS, which they will need for some careers in psychology should they wish to take further postgraduate study. Those interested in criminology or business can combine psychology with these subject areas. If students enrol on any of these programmes and change their minds about the areas that they're interested in, they can easily transfer between the programmes as they all share some of the same psychology-focused modules from the accredited programme. Moving on to the next slide, we have two postgraduate psychology programmes. So we have an MSc Psychology, known as a conversion course, because students who do not have psychology as in their background, or they haven't taken a psychology undergraduate degree, can take this program, and the program is designed to cover the background knowledge that they require. We also have the organisational psychology program for those interested in the organisational business route, and this is a sort of business focused area of psychology. And again, transfer between those programs are possible. And we also have the postgraduate diploma and postgraduate certificate routes as well. We also have interactive learning platform and a variety of assessment types that replicate real world tasks and develop transferable skills for employability. We're fairly unique in we have a dedicated support for research methods. So we have a technical hub of resources that students all have access to, and we have an experimental officer who can offer students one-to-one sessions and workshops for any areas of research methods that they need extra help in. And they can also gain that help for their final dissertation as well. Students get access to all the software that they might require throughout the programme. There are also ebooks, 1 or 2 ebooks in every module, alike to all the other programmes. We also have professional tutors who teach on the programme. Most of these hold PhDs, some have master's degrees, and many are working in applied areas of psychology, like as forensic investigators, for example, or they're working as researchers or academics at other institutions. We have live interactive seminar sessions with a tutor every 2 weeks, so students have the opportunity to engage with a tutor and ask about the modules and assessments and teachings. We run extra live and recorded workshops for developing key skills as well, that all students, undergraduate and postgraduate, are able to attend. Doesn't matter what module they're in. So we might have things like library sessions, how to develop their academic writing. We've had some research methods focused workshops as well. Students can be part of the psychology community, and we're really proud of the extra activities that students can engage in to enhance their learning experience. And we have these open to all postgraduate and undergraduate students. So we invite guest lecturers who are working in different areas of psychology-focused careers 4 times per year to give talks. We have a monthly journal club hosted by a tutor in collaboration with the health department, and students can attend and engage in academic discussion. Students have the opportunity to engage with peers through the tutor-led collaborative learning questions. And we have a newsletter like all the other departments that go out 4 times per year with department news and updates and interesting facts about psychology. Some of our tutors write articles for that as well, and some of our students do. One thing to note is a psychology degree is sought after by many non-psychology professions as well. So students who take a psychology degree don't necessarily go into the area of psychology afterwards, because it does develop many transferable skills. So there are mathematical skills, reasoning, writing skills, and so all of these are sought after in different professions as well.
Hi everyone. So I see we've had some new attendees join halfway through the session. So just as a reminder, my name's Katie Flanagan and I'm the Head of Admissions at Kaplan Open Learning for our Essex partnership. So as part of this session today, I will be talking us through some of the key elements of the admissions process, including just a bit of an overview of the team and the people that you may come in contact with. We'll talk through the entry requirements for some of the programs that you've heard about from our academic team. We'll talk through the tuition fees and the scholarships and discounts that may be available for students. We can also discuss the upcoming start dates we've got available, the commission structure that's available if you sign up as a partner with us, and we'll just discuss the application process as well. So this is just an overview of our admissions team. So as I say, these are people you may come in contact with if you're an existing partner or if you sign up as a partner with us. So we've got Faye Coates, who's the Director of Student Recruitment and Admissions. We've then obviously got myself as the Head of Admissions. We do have 3 admissions managers and we have a team of 15 admissions advisors. So if you are sending students to us, each of those applicants will be assigned to a dedicated admissions advisor who will process that application right through from when that application comes in, right through to enrolment. So if you do have any queries about a particular application or about the process, you can contact either the admissions advisor directly, or you can contact one of the admissions managers or even myself. So just in terms of the entry requirements for our undergraduate courses. So we do have 2 entry routes onto all of our programs. We've got an academic entry route and we have a work experience entry route. So generally for undergraduate programs on the academic entry, we would be looking for either 3 A levels or equivalent, or for our business programs it's 2 A levels or an equivalent level 3 qualification. Alternatively, if students don't have a level 3 qualification, if they perhaps have the GCSE Maths and English at grade C or above, or an equivalent level 2 qualification, along with 3 years of relevant work experience, then they may be eligible for the programme via the work experience route. We do also have English language requirements. So for our undergraduate programmes, students will need an academic IELTS score of 6 or equivalent. Alternatively, we do offer a range of other qualifications such as TOEFL, Pearson. We do also have our own in-house English language test. So if students don't already have evidence of their English language proficiency, they can take our in-house test during the application process as an alternative. We do, just to note as well, also have a certificate of higher education for all of our undergraduate programs. So if students are perhaps applying for a bachelor's degree, or if they'd like a shorter program at the undergraduate level, then we do have the certificate of higher education programs available. These are designed to be open entry, so students do not need any previous qualifications or work experience to be able to gain entry to these programs. They will just need to pass their first assignment that will be part of the first 3 weeks of their program. So just in terms of our postgraduate programs, so again, there's still an academic entry route and a work experience entry route available for postgraduate level courses. So generally for the academic route, we would be looking for students to have an undergraduate degree with honours from an approved institution, or they would need an equivalent qualification. For our work experience route, students would need to have at least 3 years of relevant work experience. There are some variations to this. So for example, the Master of Education programme is 2 years of relevant experience within an educational setting. So it's also always best just to either check with us directly, or all of the entry requirements for each programme are available on the website as well on each of the course pages. Again, students will need to meet our English language requirements. So for postgraduate programs, we would be looking for them to have an IELTS score of 6.5 or equivalent. Again, the online English language test that we have in-house is also available for postgraduate programs. So again, if they don't already have any evidence that they can provide to evidence their proficiency, then we can offer them that test during the application process. In terms of the postgraduate professional courses that we have available, no formal qualifications or experience is necessary to be able to gain entry to these programs. Applicants will just need to meet the required English proficiency level, so that will be the 6.5 or equivalent that they'll need for those. So in terms of the tuition fees, so these are for our undergraduate programs. Just to note, our tuition fees are reviewed on an annual basis in line with each academic year. So the fees that you'll be able to see on screen now are for our 24-25 academic year, which began in August this year and will run right through until the end of July 2025. So it's always best just to double check those, especially around the time where the academic year may change. Again, our website is always kept up to date with what the current fees are. So currently for a certificate of higher education programme, the fee for that would be £6,799. For a full 4-year bachelor's programme, it would be £20,396. And then similarly again for our top-up programme that we've got in undergraduate business and management, that would also be £6,799. Just to note, those tuition fees are our headline fees and they are net of any applicable sales tax by the student, depending on their country of residence. So if students are in a country where goods and services tax may apply, then that is something that they will just need to be aware of because that will be added onto their payment plan as well, if necessary. So just in terms of the tuition fees for our postgraduate programs, so again, this is for our 24-25 academic year. So currently an online professional course is £1,455. The postgraduate certificate is currently £4,350. We also have the postgraduate diplomas available, which is £8,700. And then the full master's programs are currently £13,049. So similarly to the undergrad programs, students will just need to be aware that if the goods and services tax is applicable in their country, that will be added onto those fees. So just then in terms of the funding that's available and the current discounts and scholarships. So there are 2 payment plan options available. So students can choose to either pay their fees in full upfront, which they will receive then a 5% upfront discount, or a more affordable option for them may be that they can pay their tuition fees in monthly installments across the duration of their programme. We do also have a 10% alumni discount available. So if the student has either studied with the University of Essex campus previously or studied an undergraduate online programme with ourselves, they may be eligible to have the 10% alumni discount applied. We do also offer regional scholarships of up to 15%. So again, these do depend on where the student does reside. So it's looked at on a case-by-case basis once we get the application in. And if students are eligible for those discounts, they will be automatically applied to their payment plans. One thing I did just want to note here is if there's anyone on the call now who is looking to recruit in the Africa region, we do currently have an enhanced regional scholarship for Africa of 20%, just to help tackle the economic challenges that they're currently facing. That's currently available for our October 2024 and our January 2025 intakes as well. We then do also have 20% impact scholarships available for specific master's courses. Just to note, that is for the full master's programs only. They don't apply to the postgraduate certificates or the postgraduate diplomas. It's currently available for 12 programs. Information on that is available on our website. There's a full list of the programs that's applicable for. Just to give you an example though, across different disciplines, it's available for the Masters in Artificial Intelligence, the Master of Education program, the MSc Global Digital Marketing, and the MPH. So I say that's just a select few, just as an example across different disciplines, but for a full list of which programs are applicable for that scholarship, it can be found on our website. And finally, we do also have a 21-day money-back guarantee period, just to make you aware. So the first 21 days of the program, the student can either withdraw from the program of their own volition, or they will also need to complete an induction assignment that they will need to pass. So a lot of our students often haven't studied online before. They're only really familiar with campus studies. So the 21-day money-back guarantee period is also a great opportunity for those students who perhaps aren't sure whether online study will be suitable for them, and they can use it as more of a trial period as well, with no obligations, and receive a full refund if necessary. Okay, so this is just to run through the upcoming start dates that we've got available. So at undergraduate level, we have got the top-up program starting on the 1st of October. All of our other undergraduate programs in business, health, law, and psychology will be starting on the 8th of October. We've then also got intakes available in January. So the top-up again will be starting on the 7th of January, and then all other undergraduate programs will be starting on the 14th of January. Just to note, those are the start dates. So the enrolment deadlines are always 5 days before. So the enrolment deadline is when the student needs to have all of their application details to us and their payments as well. And then for postgraduate, all of our postgraduate programs in business, computing, education, health, law, and psychology, they'll all be starting on the 8th of October as well. We've also got the professional courses starting on the 15th of October. We've also got on the 14th of January, we've got postgraduate programs in business, computing, education, health, law, and psychology starting. And then we've also got the professional courses as well, starting on the 21st of January, 2025. Just in terms of the commission structure that's available then for our Essex Online programs. So generally for the majority of our programs, the commission rate would be set at 15%. The exception to that is the full bachelor's program, which is at 7.5%. Commission is calculated based on the student's net tuition fee. It is paid in two 50% instalments. So the first 50% is paid once the student has completed that first 21 days on the program. Because I mentioned previously, it may be that they will withdraw during that period, or as I mentioned as well, they will need to pass the induction assignment. The second 50% instalments is paid at the end of the initial 3-month study period as well. There are additional terms that will be set out in the agreement. So for example, students can't be in arrears with their tuition fees for those to be eligible. And finally then, so just in terms of the application process. So the students will need to submit their applications online via our website. As your role as the agent, you will need to assist the student in completing that application and gathering the necessary documents to support that. So students will need to provide a 300 to 500 word personal statement, which outlines why they want to complete the course, why they want to study online, maybe any relevant academic qualifications or work experience they've got. They'll also need to provide a copy of some form of photo ID, which will need to be valid, a copy of their educational certificates, and a copy of their CV. Those are the minimum documents that we would need. If any additional documents are required, these would be requested during the admissions process. And if they're not able to upload those with the initial application, once they are assigned to their dedicated admissions advisor, they'll be able to send those across via email. The application, once we've got all those documents, will then be formally reviewed by our internal admissions team. Hopefully the student is approved for entry, and we will be able to then provide them with a formal offer letter, which will include their study planner and their payment plan. You will be copied into all correspondence throughout this process, so you will also receive a copy of that offer letter for reference. At this stage, the student will then just need to submit their formal acceptance form and make their tuition fee payment prior to that enrolment deadline. It is critical that that is done prior to that deadline, otherwise we will not be able to enrol them onto the programme, and they may then need to wait until the next start date to be able to enrol. That does round up everything in terms of the admissions process. I think we're just on time as well in terms of the end of the session, so I'll just pass over to our host, Sammy.
Thank you very much, Katie. Yes, so we have the question section. However, we're kind of running over time at the minute, but we have one-to-one sessions. So I'm sure if you have any questions, we can speak to you there